saw Mum the other day when they talking about being homophobic because he put a picture up that showed Nazi children waving Nazi flags, being indoctrinated into Nazi culture, and now a bunch of children in a school waving rainbow flags, being indoctrinated into the LGBTQ cult. And it is a cult. I love homosexuality. I love gay people. I class myself as a gay person myself personally because I'm a minister. But now we've allowed so many Babylonians into this club that was just supposed to be help people come together, unifying and stuff like that. But like in the LGBTQ, everyone's accepted unless you're straight.
Let's talk about facts.
If you want to have intellectual discussions.
Spiritually oriented, a beautiful farm.
Who you are beyond the personality.
I'm a human being, same as you. Be who you are.
But to answer your question,
what is really going on?
And let's get into this.
And what is happening, WIRGO Warriors? Welcome to the wonderful world of WIRGO, the place where we could ask what is really going on. Now, guys, we need your help. If you can do your best to help us, that would be great. And what we need your help is with subscribing, liking, all that kind of good stuff. You know what to do. There's no point in me going through all. But what we do know is comments. People to talk about the things we're talking about and talk to us about it. Give us your thoughts, opinions. Let us know what you think. Still really haven't put the live up yet, have we?
No, I thought
after this was done, but we got it.
That's why I was stuck in my head.
Yeah, we're doing it for that one anyway. And the lightness is coming outside now, just about, guys. It's not early morning, and we get a live up and running now. Right, anyway, guys, we're doing a reaction review of, with myself, Carl, and
Elsa.
Unless you tell them what we're doing after.
Okay, so we're looking at, do trans women pose a threat to women's sport? And this is by Peter Boghossian.
I have a question, guys, right? Why do we call it women's sport? Why don't we call it female sport? It's like they spent so long putting the word woman in it just so they can mess it up in the future. Can't we just change it to female sports and male sports and then open sports? 3 different things. Female sports, male sports, open sports.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other day, didn't we?
You said about the toilets and all now.
Yeah, same thing with the toilets and things. Right, and
Not you. I don't want to traumatize you. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you. What do you think is going to happen?
It's going to be a tough question, this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough question. That's why it's...
I reacted that way, because, oh my god.
All right, cool. Where are we?
UCF.
What is UCF?
University of Central Florida.
Okay, we've never met before?
No.
We ever met before?
Nope.
Never seen me before?
Never seen me.
Perfect.
Right, guys, so this is... How do you say his last name?
Peter Boghossian.
Boghossian. Now... Is that thumb leaving?
Oh, bro.
He hasn't got no fingers in. But anyway, so this is Peter
Boghossian.
Thank you, babe.
I hope I'm saying it right, right?
Yeah, we always say it right. Sorry, Peter. We love Peter, much like we love Anthony W.I.R.G.O.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of epistemology. Learning about epistemology got me started on my journey into where I'm trying to be now. I want to be the greatest epistemologist in this whole world. And the greatest epistemologist in this whole world will be called Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Why? Because, first of all, he'll be the source of, and it'll be a new branch of knowledge which I'm getting from all these people. They're training me. It's crazy. It's like I'm being trained by all these individuals freely. And it's wonderful, just listening to them, learning from them, and understanding who they are, what they do, and what they're doing. And then when I puzzle piece all that together, I get a great picture in my head of what I'm supposed to be, what I want to achieve. Yeah. So please listen to Peter. He's a very intelligent gentleman and very much in control of his emotions, from what I see. I hear he's a professor at one of the colleges, or used to be at least. We should look more into his backstory, though, so we know more about him, I think, at some point. But he's about to play an epistemology game here, and this is a form of street epistemology. Go check out what that is, guys. We will be doing an episode on it all soon, so you have a better understanding.
Awesome. All right. And we are going to do... There are only 2 genders. Everybody get the rules. They're pretty straightforward. There are only 2 genders. 5, 4...
So what's going to happen, guys, I put it in that there's a claim that's made. It should be a question instead of a claim. But he puts up as a claim to be more, I think, just more in your face, maybe a little bit. I'm not too sure. But if you said are there only 2 genders, it doesn't go with this agree, slightly disagree, and things like that. So what he's doing here is saying, right, I'm making a claim. There are only 2 genders. Now you guys have to decide whether you strongly agree, neutral, to strongly disagree, and the marks in between. Yeah, so let's see what they say.
Oh.
But where do you think they're going to go? Or do you remember from having a glimpse of it the other day?
I can't remember. I think the girl went on strongly agree, and the boy was like on slightly disagree, I think.
We'll see if that works, all right. But when I originally saw this, I thought both of them were going to go to agree. From looking at them, I made a judgment and said they're both going to go agree, and they didn't, so I see.
4, 3, 2, 1, move.
Yeah.
Okay, tell her why you slightly disagree.
Well,
And do you know her? Or stand, come over here. Do you know her?
yeah, I do know her.
Okay, cool. So tell her.
All right, so I put slightly first of all because gender is like the word gender is like more of the construct, and the word sex is like more of like a definitive thing. So like what?
Now, if you ask me, if he said gender is something, I would have a problem with the question, first of all. As you know, I'd be like, wait a minute, the question makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Please make it make sense. But like, it's talking about gender as if like they have a gender of something like that. They have a gender identity, which is a gender role. So it's how they feel inside, the person they want to try and become, But they also have a physical gender. So this gentleman looks like he has a physical gender of male, masculinity, and the other one looks like she has a physical gender femininity, which we call female. And then within them, then they'll have gender roles for their identities, how they feel, But we try to tie our roles to the body. But then if your internal values, like you're just really feminine inside,
the opposite to your physicality.
is the opposite to physicality, it's going to cause a friction because there's no build in between. And what needs to happen is people need to understand that, well, you can simply just mess with the body to get the hormones to go differently, and then the internal values are different. And then when you mess with people's hormones enough and the internal values are different, they become at war with themselves. And then that's where you get people chopping up their bodies and wanting to kill themselves and things like that. So what I like to do is go back before the gender dysphoria and say what's causing it. Well, the food they're eating and the ideologies they've been taught.
Yeah.
And they're the two biggest parts of it that I can see. So if he'd asked me, I'd be like, well, I'd say gender are the two halves of the complete spectrum. And it trickles down through everything that we see, even in animals.
Yeah.
There's a spectrum, and the very centre part of it would be 0, nothing, so you wouldn't be in this world. But you'll fall on either side of that 0. So if it was negative and positive, you would either fall on one side or the other. You can't be in the middle is God. So you can be, there are individuals, even in their physicality, that have like bodies that have like micro penises or something like that because of like a mixture of chromosomes and stuff like that. But like that doesn't mean they're in the middle. It means they're just very closer to the middle. The spectrum is closer to the other
based on
end.
the choices they've made in their lives.
Yeah, well, that I suppose, further on when you look at trans men and women, yes.
Yeah.
When you talk about sex, like male and female, it's like there's only I believe that if within your chromosomes there's males and you're a female. But if you want to see gender, like I don't feel like I'm that gender, then you can say that. Like I feel like.
Gender, you think gender is it a social construct?
It's a social construct, but it's sex does define your gender. But if you,
I think he's talking about gender roles, guys. It's not gender as an actual thing. Gender is in so many different things. In our physicality, we call it sex. In our mental state, our ideas of ourselves and our identities, we say it's a gender role. Like man and woman, their roles, the constructs are built. The constructs are built from the imaginary world, right? We say are like what he's saying there, like a social construct. So it's socially constructed, but gender and sex is a biological construct. So you have a biological constructs and social constructs. Biological constructs are out here. Look at the trees and things like that. We can't just. Is a social construct to say that we want the way you feel about a tree or something like that. I believe. I think I'm getting that right. Hopefully people understand what I'm saying.
you want to identify something else, that's okay.
Okay. So tell him why you think there are only two genders.
I feel like there are only two genders just because, I mean, I get the I get the social construct thing. I feel like more recently it's been kind of like the big difference between the two. I feel like it used to not be like that. So growing up, I was raised one way, so I still believe that way.
Oh my God, you just spoke for almost a minute and haven't actually said anything. It's just all like babble. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got taken anything from it. I'm not mocking her or anything. I'm guessing nerves, everything could be in play.
Yeah, could do with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from what I'm hearing, nothing yet.
Do you
I didn't get much of him.
But then again, like she put herself forward. Was these guys completely in the dark about the topics they were talking about beforehand, or was she thrown in the deep end?
No,
you know what I mean? It's like
they get the question. It's up on a board. The question is up on a board in front of them, and then they'll decide which one they want to go to. And he spoke to the gentleman first, so she had plenty of time to think about her answer, I suppose. Yeah. But like again, I don't mean I'm not mocking her in the way she's delivering her question. I'm just saying so far there's been nothing.
No.
Genius could drop any minute. Let's have a look.
Believe it because it's true, or do you believe it because, like, so are you standing on that line because it's true, or are you standing on that line because that's how you were raised?
Because I think it's true.
Okay. What's the difference between, because as he mentioned, sex and gender, what's the difference between sex and gender?
I don't really see a difference between sex and gender.
Do you think gender is you think gender is a social construct?
I believe so.
Do you think
Yeah.
Sorry, I said I believe so because I do have to do a little bit of research sense why I'm like slightly disagreeing.
Because it's all part of the show.
If I can confirm that fact, I will definitely be on the other side.
Okay. What would you need to confirm that?
Just like make sure that my facts are straight in the
what facts would you what facts
definition?
Where would you come up with the definition, from a dictionary, or how would you get the definition?
Mathematically.
Yeah.
Say mathematically, please.
Oh, they will.
I'm begging you.
Dictionary, you probably say.
You probably go from a
Google.
dictionary. But the thing is, I would go to a dictionary and I would look at the thing and I go, does that make sense to me? I would work out what it said. I wouldn't just, it says, evil is profoundly wicked and immoral. There you go. Explained. I'd be like, what does that mean to you? I don't know.
Yeah. That's what the dictionary says.
Oh, wait, first I would go to dictionaries, and then I would go to like the public, like what they think are like professionals.
Public.
I suppose he's trying to objectivize what has been said, but again, it's a fallacy from authority. What really should be doing is working out. See, people believe in good and evil, guys, and Adam just goes, can't even exist. Like, yeah, just go on.
Professionals, which one?
Both. I would do both. But obviously I would listen more to like how the public feels, because it's not really how people feel about it. It's more like how things.
Like if you wanted to consult an expert in who knows this, like what would their field of expertise be?
Their field of expertise, it would just be like.
Do you know why I love this question? Because realistically, you should be saying something like biology, right? Maybe biologist might be able to tell us. But when you speak to people about this, they'll say to you, "No, I'm not going to a biologist about this." So, well, in the experts who would know. Nah.
I think what he was trying to get at there, then, when he was talking about the feelings side of it, it's like I think he was what he was trying to get at was explain that people are so like up in their feelings, like.
Oh, we know this.
Yeah. I think that's what he was trying to get at. Be compared into words. I think.
Well, okay. It depends on the topic, but on this specific topic...
Yeah, on this topic.
This specific topic, I don't think I would go to an expert, I'll be honest. I was saying that for in general thing, but for this specific topic, I would just, like...
Science!
You see what happens, guys? This is epistemology.
Yeah.
The idea is people say things they don't really mean to say. They're just triggered into saying things somehow.
Yeah.
And epistemology asks, why did you say that? What do you mean by that? Yeah. And I love it. I think it's
consulted myself. I would just like go. I would go definition based, more like.
Like a dictionary.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, let's reset to the neutral line. I have an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me why is it a hard question?
I don't know. I feel like.
I know a hard question.
I don't know how to explain.
Because the truth doesn't align with society's truth.
Yeah.
And if she tells the truth, she's
a transphobe.
Her personal higher self, I suppose, is going to be like, yes, well done, you've told the truth. This is great. It's great news for us. But then she's seen as a transphobe, or
the judgment.
I mean, Cyan's actual mum the other day when they were talking about being homophobic because he put a picture up that showed Nazi children waving Nazi flags, being indoctrinated into Nazi culture, and now a bunch of children in a school waving rainbow flags, being indoctrinated into the LGBTQ cult.
Like history
and it is a cult. I love homosexuality. I love gay people. I class myself as a gay person myself personally.
Yeah.
Because I'm into it, but now we've allowed so many Babylonians into this club that was just supposed to be help people come together, unifying and stuff like that. But like in the LGBTQ, everyone's accepted unless you're straight. Why?
How is that all inclusive? Like
that's not inclusive to me. If
it's yes for straight,
and then if you include straight people, all you've got is humanity. There's no LGBTQ. So LGBTQ can only exist if it hates or doesn't include one type of people, at least one type of people,
which is what
they do. Yeah. So, and they don't see it as a division; they see it as a unifying thing. It's saying, well, we was unified as humans, and then you decided to separate yourself and call yourself LGBTQ.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's unifying. People haven't been able to explain that. That's another thing I want to learn on you. But I want to learn it in a harmonious way, not just have a go. I don't understand, so people can't teach me.
We just want to understand.
Yeah. It's tricky.
It's a tricky question because I feel like a lot of people have a different definition of what the difference between sex and...
No, but he's talking to you.
I know. It's like, don't worry about it. It's like they're so scared of being judged by others because of the choices or the opinions that they have. And I'm like, you're free to express that. What are you doing? Stop being such a frightened little girl.
No, you're right. Well, I think you could.
You know what I mean? I feel like I didn't hear the difference.
See, you know what I mean?
It's like so timid and like,
sex and gender.
Maybe
stop
that's just
talking then.
Maybe that's just her character, and we are being a little bit over.
I see it a lot though.
I know,
a lot, and it's too often.
We both
now.
see it a lot, so obviously
it's too often now.
Until like 2022, 2021, 2022.
Very, very recently. Why do you think it's a tricky question?
Well, I feel the same way as her. Like, it's a very recent topic, so there's...
Have you noticed the difference in like boys, or if you want to be called a man, men?
It's very feminine.
They're very feminine.
Very feminine.
Very feminine individuals, and it's because of what they're eating. They keep eating.
I can see a bit of feminine in Peter, mind.
What's that?
I can see a bit of femininity in Peter as well.
I find Peter both feminine and masculine, very neutral person. I do. Of course, you're going to find femininity in neutral people.
Traits, yeah.
It's not. It's very controversial, so it's not really much discussed properly.
Yeah, what you're doing
is
well, masculinity isn't about the body. Femininity is all about the body. Masculinity is about the intellect and how it runs. That's what masculinity is.
Yeah. But I think it's a hard question because you gotta go by the. I personally go by the definition of what it is.
So. If the dictionary changed the meanings of words, like
they actually do, no, like
people change the meaning of words.
So then, if the dictionary changes the meaning of words, does the truth change?
No, not at all. Like you.
Good question. I like that.
This is epistemology for you guys. This is the things I do when I talk to people about certain things.
Love it.
They'll say something, and then I'll ask something like he just said, and okay, and so if the dictionary suddenly changed the definition of like what a man was or something like that, does the truth about it change? And he's like, well, no, it doesn't change. And it's like, what do you do about it? It's a great question.
The dictionary could be wrong.
The dictionary could definitely, it's not wrong because it's always changed. Like definitions are changing. It's more like definitions are used.
The dictionary is like a mirror, guys. It's like a mirror. It mirrors what us as a people say. It isn't a strict ruling book. It's like Wikipedia. It can be updated and changed.
Flexible. Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's always been like that, although it probably has, but it shouldn't be. The fact you can just change it and add language to it just gives you more. If you can like express something that wasn't expressed before.
More Babylonian.
It's great, but they should have, a Babylonian dictionary is what they should have, and a Christic dictionary is what they have, but they don't. They have one dictionary, and everybody has to side by that dictionary.
I've met people that you could show them the dictionary and show them a definition of a word, and they'd still deny it because in their head they have their own definition, and I'm what?
And yet when you try to talk about a definition of another word at another time, they'll go, look, even says in the dictionary.
I know. I'm like, whoa, what?
But you don't. Double-minded people, babe. Double-minded.
That way.
Beware.
Everybody uses that word that way. So if you want to change, the definition of like what a shoe is, for example, and you want to put your own word on it.
Hippopotamus.
Yeah, you say it's a hippopotamus. Socially, people don't agree with that. So I think what defines the definition is like more like socially acceptable is like how people use it.
So if we wanted to figure
Right, so what he's just explained to you, but what he's just said to you though there is that's how you make Babylon. If you just let people socially make things up, it becomes Babylon, because eventually narcissists won't like other people's words and things like that, and narcissists will war each other. Right? However, if you build it upon mathematics, the divine language of all things, then it's objectivized. People can't argue about it, and if you want to create your own language and try to get people to adopt your language. But now it's not. It's an invasion of language. People seem to think that wars happen and stuff over these different things. It's not. Most wars just happen over language.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Somebody trying to invade another person's language, and once they've done it, they can cause a war.
It's like construction of Babylon, isn't it? That's what it's like,
Yeah, that's exactly
You're doing it again, I know.
Yes.
if gender was a construct, and we looked up the word gender, and that we know that the dictionaries change according to what the common belief is, that would basically be telling us what the common belief is. It wouldn't be telling us if it's true or not.
Yep, that's just common belief. It's just, pretty much.
So how would we figure out if it's true?
I don't think this topic is really black and white, like true or false.
Okay. All right, well, what about this one? We're going to reset it. There are only two sexes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move.
Wow, okay.
Ryan.
That's interesting.
That lady before said there's no difference between
sex and gender.
And
she was on strongly agree for the gender one, wasn't she?
What was the original question?
There were only two genders, and now there's only two sexes now. So they've changed the question.
Right, so this lady originally...
She had strongly agreed now on both of them.
She strongly agreed that there were only two genders, right? And now there are only two sexes, okay?
She couldn't see the difference between the two, if I remember her saying.
Yeah, that's cool. But this gentleman now has gone from slightly disagree all the way to strongly agree, because changed the word to sexes. So I think what he's doing this is so now he can establish that...
What we talked about yesterday, funny enough.
Yeah, but that this gentleman doesn't see sex and gender as the same thing, so that's cool.
Okay, why do you strongly agree?
I think there's a man and a woman.
That's not sex.
And without...
Oh my God, Babylon people. This is what the issue is.
So
sex, we're talking about males and females, and the first thing she said is, I think there's a man and a woman. Their gender roles. Why are people getting this really mixed up? Why are they educated in school? I need to go to their schools and talk to their teachers.
You don't even talk about this sort of thing, Vic, honestly.
Gender comes in many forms. And is there gender in dogs? Yes. Male and female dogs. Yeah, we have what we call bitches. I can swear. Bitches and mutts, yeah? Or they have different names for them, I don't know, right? So you have males and females. So there's genders there. There's gender in plants life. If you grow a few cannabis plants in your back garden or in your attic, do you have male and female plants? Yes, you do. You also get hermaphrodite, though. That's what I've heard, half male, half plants, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool. But, like, here we have males and females. Now, within our imaginary state, there is not the body that's male or female, the thing that's inside you, your imaginary friend, yeah? People don't understand that, I think it's someone else. You are your imaginary friend. If you say that,
you become that, yeah.
This is Peter, yeah? Peter is the imaginary friend of the organism that is carrying Peter around. This beautiful being by here is named Alyssa. But the name is part of the imaginary friend that she pretends to be to involve herself in our world. Imaginary friend is going around in a skin suit. Right, we're not going to play all of this, babe, as you know.
Being vulgar, sorry. How do we know? And you don't have to answer that if you don't. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. But
reproductive organ.
That was a very politic answer. Okay. So you know from your reproductive organs, and we can point to one person's reproductive organs, and we can use male.
You're a male.
And we can point to another person's reproductive organs, and we can say female.
Yes.
Is that, you agree with that?
I would add a little bit more to that, and I would go to like the specific like your genetics, like literally your X and Y chromosome. That's it. It's flat. If you strip.
But what these two individuals are saying now, that I can look at somebody, and if I can't see their chromosomes or the genitals, I can't know what sex they are. Now, if somebody said, well, we can look at the source of chromosomes, but everything the chromosomes generally give an individual, for males, bigger body mass, all the different things. Ladies have certain body shapes and stuff because obviously they have to give they have to be pregnancy and stuff like that. There's lots of different things. It won't bring any of that stuff up. It's really weird to me. Like, it just speak in generalized terms. You can mention there are some that don't do this, and you're going to get it wrong.
Strip everything down to bare bones. X, are you X or are you Y? Like, are you XX or X?
So it's and I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. I just want to make sure I understand. So it's rooted in observation. We look, and it's rooted in biology.
Yes, correct. Although we're excluding extremities, where like there could be like an XXY or any, those people that like they literally, their gender is just kind of ambiguous to oppose. So that's it.
Their gender or their sex?
I mean their sex. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
See, even he's touching on it now. These individuals are getting confused with gender and sex because they've interacted these words throughout so many stories in their life and isn't their main story. They can't hold on to it. I do it all the time. When I'm talking about masculinity, I say male or man. Yeah. I'm like, oh, God, can't stop you talking about masculinity. Not them. They're all different things, guys. All different things to me. Otherwise, why have bloody different words? Yeah. It's strange how people can't get all this, but I get it. I mean, I couldn't add 2p and 2p once upon a time. To me, it was 2 pented. Not 4p. Right, baby, I don't want to go too much into this because I want people to go watch Anthony and see us. I wanted to put the beginning bit just so as to have a little chat on it, but we did a lot of this the other day. We're not trying to rag on people who think they're transgender guys. We just have a different... on the battery fashion. We have a different view of it. To us, well, to me especially, trans people are just individuals that have confused their internal values to their external values. In other words, if we look at value as in their gender, their external gender, their physical gender may be something that's opposite to that which they've created internally. Yeah. So their spirit, as you might want to call it, their sense of self, they might want to call it, their self, or even their ego, you might want to call it. But for me, imaginary friend, the abstract version of you, the abstract self, that part of the thing has been built the opposite to whatever the organism's been built, and therefore you now have friction and war. And people... Yeah, the bloody battery stopped on me. It's getting me back. We're just finishing off anyway. I'll say that even if I speak over what I just said, I'll cut it out, don't worry. Trans people, guys, are just those with the conflict in them between their external values and internal values, meaning their gender in physical form and in abstract form. That's what I'm saying, abstract form. The abstract form gender is an identity that you take on, and you base it upon the way you feel and things like that. Your feelings and emotions, they'll hold another gender that... like an energetic gender, I would say. So if you've got the female energies from all the foods and hormones you're eating, then of course you'll think female then, because that'll have a knock-on effect. And then because two parts of you now think in female form, you now, or feminine form, you now want a feminine body. But you've got a male body. So it's like, oh, I don't feel right. And that can cause illness. I have nothing but sympathy and empathy for these individuals, and I will sit down and one-on-one with them, I will be as loving as I possibly can be for them and supportive. But when I'm not with anybody like that, I'm just with myself or people who want to talk about this, I can be open and truthful. So I'm not always this way, guys, with everybody. I'm not this way at all. This is a character I put onto the show. So I can live within the show, within the narrative. Right, guys, please go check out Peter. Did you want to say anything about this exercise? What do you think of this exercise about me doing it?
I think this is great. And yeah, it would be a lovely addition for the show, I think. Something like similar
going to the park.
Yeah, definitely. Put some little mats out and
I could just get, that, the sticky tape.
Boards.
The sticky tape thing, you can just put that down with some laminated signs.
Right,
agree,
or just write with a dry write.
And then what I do is have that big board at the front and change the question. Yeah. And put the question on the front.
Put the main topic there, and then obviously the different categories that they can step on.
Yeah. I could even do that in the park when we get a nice day.
Could even
at the
do
back.
the silicone shapes at Cartier if you wanted to, just to jazz it up a bit more, and then it would stick. Strongly agree, disagree, or whatever on the actual shapes and put them in a line.
I love that.
That'd
That's brilliant.
So cute.
That's good. I like
and
that.
it's colourful as well. It's lovely, and it's silicone, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't. The lines I think are for people to see, but you don't have to have that.
It's just that, yeah.
We could have it like you just said now, which I think would be really good. Nobody trip over it.
Oh, they're quite flat. You don't hear about that, man. These stepping stones, they call them.
I could have those. Oh,
Yeah.
you ordered? I'd have little. I can make little wooden pegs that go in the floor with a slit in it, and then I can put the stand-up signs in them, right next to them or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the little
Getting
silicone.
all these ideas on camera again.
on camera. People are like, oh,
remember.
Oh, they're like, oh,
take
don't
that
do
idea
that.
before they turn around.
Right, guys, we'll let you go then, unless there's anything you want to add.
No, I'm good.
Guys, we're going to be going live now
Yes.
because here's a bit more of the morning. We're going to have a bit of breakfast and everything back on the. Put things on the background. It is really early, but my belly's been rumbling. I might eat that
I don't know,
spare
I'm not
stuff.
starving. I don't want to talk about it. But my stomach's grumbling, but I don't feel hungry. Like
I
still feel like I'm weight, but it's just my stomach's
I'm not.
grumbling like mad.
My stomach's not doing nothing. But the more you keep talking about it, the more I feel like I'm Right, we're gonna get on to that, guys. But we are gonna do one more. We're gonna do a song in a minute. So between now and then, WIRGO what is?
Harmony.
To the love, support and sharing of the community that has followed us here on YouTube, we have been able to build a village for special needs children in crisis out in Tanzania. Our family in Tanzania is now made up of nearly 200 children. Most of these children have disabilities, and most of these children are among the most marginalised human beings in our human story. To all who have partnered with what we do, thank you for your love and support. We simply can't do what we do without you. If you visit www.sharetanzania.com/partnership, you will see all of the details there.
I'll just press that and see if we can get it going in a second. Right, and you ready to get into this?
Yep.